Hey folks, it's me, Militant Ginger, and I'm back with a very quick bonus episode of M for Man. I say very quick because I don't have much time, but I wanted to talk to you about something that is in the news at the moment. Alec Baldwin, the very famous film star, comedian, huge admirer of his work. Anyway, he is in the headlines because he got kicked off an American Airlines flight. And I thought that was kind of topical. Yesterday I was talking about courtesy and what an important aspect of a man's character courtesy is, and here is an example of someone being completely discourteous. Alec Baldwin, if you take his side of the story, got engrossed in an iPad game that he was playing and didn't hear a stewardess telling him to switch it off. Well, the stewardess was actually saying he was just yelling into a cell phone, and again ignored her telling him to switch it off. But as a result of him being really selfish and not thinking about anybody else in the plane, the entire plane had to get turned around, returned to the gate, everyone was late because they had to kick him off. It was just a bad situation. He was really discourteous because he was not respectful of everyone else in that plane. But it gets worse, because another aspect of a man's character I was talking about was taking responsibility for your actions and the consequences of your actions. Did Alec Baldwin take responsibility for the consequences of his jackassish behaviour? No, he went onto Twitter and started rabbiting about how this is the reason American Airlines was bankrupt and all of the American Airlines stewardesses were old, and basically acting like a child and not taking any responsibility for what had happened. And that's just a double hitter. Here he is, a guy who, you know, he's a right-on liberal guy. He's supporting Occupy Wall Street and stuff like this at the moment, but it turns out he's a complete hypocrite. Because he's not showing solidarity with the common man. He thinks he's more important than everyone else, and that's why he can play with his electrical equipment despite what the stewardess is saying, despite everyone else on the plane. And afterwards, he doesn't need to take responsibility for it. It's not his fault that there was a negative consequence for his behaviour. It was American Airlines to blame, or something like that. I don't know. I'm rabbiting, but I just want to say it's a perfect example of why courtesy is such an important characteristic for a man to have, and it's why men should take responsibility for their actions and the consequences of their actions, because if they don't, then you end up looking like a jackass like Alec Baldwin, and a lot of people who respected you formerly, like myself, now shake their heads and go like, what is up with this guy? Anyway, that's my small rant. Courtesy, responsibility, really important things, so try not to be an Alec Baldwin. Try to live up to your responsibilities, try to be courteous and respectful to other people, and the whole world will look more favourably upon you as a result.